my name is Mariah Grice, and I'm Section 3.
I'm Trinity Griffin, and I am Section 3. And I will be asking my partner questions from the article, Why All Students Must Learn Academic Research. How does the mastery of academic research benefit a student's academic journey and their future career endeavors?
So research can help a student in multiple ways. First of all, doing research on your own really helps you grasp the topic and what it's about and like specific things about it. If you are just, skimming through something, you're not really going to know like the little details. It's going to be like surface-based knowledge, but knowing academic research is going to have you dive deep into the, waters of your topic and learn more about it. And how that benefits you is, for me personally, I'm doing sonography. I'm doing sonography, and for like our interviews and stuff, we have to research, the CAAEP, right? Yeah, we have to research that. They're going to be asking us a whole bunch of questions about that. So doing research on my own and having my own opinions about things and answering questions that I have for myself, I can answer those questions clearly and give them a clear outlook on what I want from the program.
Yes. 2, do you think students that have access to AI acknowledge the difference between learning and getting answers?
I'm kind of neutral on that because I think when it comes to AI, they know they're getting the answers. You can also learn from those answers, like academic research, when you are doing research on the questions that the AI gives you. I feel like you can learn more, but at the same time, for students that just wanting the answers and they just wait, until it gives you the answer. When it finally gives you the answer, they just take it and they put it into the assignment and they don't really learn anything. So I feel like sometimes they don't. Whether or not, when we go into the next question, I think I can answer that question more.
Question 3. In the article, a programmer by the name of Scott H. says that the combination of a knowledgeable person plus ChatGPT will outperform an ignorant person plus ChatGPT. The programmer highlights that a knowledgeable person using ChatGPT just enhances what they know versus an unknowledgeable person uses ChatGPT is ignorance. Do you agree with this statement? Why or why not?
I kind of don't, because I think, as bad as it sounds, I think a lot of people can learn from AI. Like, surprisingly, I think it can tell you a lot. It also gives you a lot of misinformation, so that could be kind of like a hiccup that ignorant person won't know about. And when you submit it and you just copy and pasted it, it's going to be like, where did this come from? The teacher or the instructor or the professor is going to be like, where did this come from? So I do think they can make a lot more hiccups than a knowledgeable person. Doing your research on that topic after getting AI answers can really help you get in depth, or you can just use outlines for papers and stuff like that. So I think it can be helpful if it's a knowledgeable person. I just think an ignorant person might get more hiccups from that. And I don't really like how he says, I don't like how he says it. So I'm kind of disagreeing, but I think a lot of people can learn. But I think an ignorant person should do more research. So
yeah, and I think the word that he used, ignorant, is very bold. He could have used a different word.
Yeah.
But that's how he sees it. That is ignorance. Okay. Investigation, experiments, and surveys are required through academic research and highly recommended. When students skip these steps in their research process and resort to AI, how does this affect the student's connection to the research they gathered?
Well, first of all, AI can be wrong. Most of the time it's always wrong. There's been so many videos, so many things, so many researchers found out that AI is inaccurate, whether or not you ask them a question in it. So if you ask students in your class whether they like Takis or Dynamite, you can't just go to ChatGPT and ask them if like what's the answer. You can't do that. So like in real life, when scientists, they can't use ChatGPT, they have to actually do it because it can be a real big mess up between like medicine and patients and everything, you know, sending in like medicine they can use and like, you know, reports and stuff, they can mess that up. You can't just ask ChatGPT. It ruins the connection you have. It also ruins your learning experience specifically with the research that you gather. You have to do it yourself. You have to do those steps.
And you're not
You have to,
learning.
yeah, exactly. You have to learn by yourself rather than not use it. And you can get more experience just from using that. Like we said, you know, the sonography thing again. We have to, we get the information, we learn it, and we can ask ChatGPT to explain it to us. But the real experience is, you know, the real scanning and stuff. We learn how to hold it. We learn how to identify abnormalities in the organs and stuff. You learn all that stuff. Yeah. So research is very important, especially it connects you to your job, like how the scanning and the experience connects you to the sonic.
Right, you can't get a robot to scan for you.
You can't get a robot to scan for you.
Yep. And last question, how can hands-on experiences and in-depth research differ from AI-given research? And the second question to that is, what does students gain from both?
Okay. So hands-on research, you're telling me like versus like hands-on research versus okay.
Hands-on research versus AI-given research.
Hands-on research, like we said, we need hands-on research. Also, it helps, you know, little kids, they don't know how to use AI right now. When you're using it effectively, I think it can help. A lot of people use it as outlines. A lot of people use it as like explaining things to you in an easier way. You can ask ChatGPT to explain the cardiovascular system, as in like if you like cars, you can ask them to explain it in a way, in like racetrack language or something, and it can be very helpful. Versus hands-on experience when you're going and you're looking at the heart, or like, you know, frogs, maybe like dissecting, that can also be like a hands-on experience. I think that hands-on experience is better. If you're trying to find the easy way out, I'd say AI will tell you. And it is fun to like learn the cardiovascular system in like racetrack language.
So you're saying like how you benefit from AI is like
using it effectively.
Yeah, using it as a tool
Yeah.
and not as a source.
Not as a source. Don't use it as a source. That's just, that's crazy. You should never use AI as a source. You should get your sources. You should do your own research on those sources. On the sources, we use academic one file, and we go and we research and find and we read. You can't really ask AI to like help you find those specific sources. They can be inaccurate or something like that. I do think hands-on experience will help a lot more than AI, especially for little kids who are visual learners and they can't just like listen, because a lot of kids have a hard time focusing because of the phones and that TikTok and that Roblox or whatever. They have a hard time focusing. So I think that hands-on experience for them, learning about themselves and, you know, whatever topic it is, I think that can help them more. And the second question
is, how do you what do you gain from both?
What do you gain from both? Like
well, you already really said what do you gain from AI.
Yeah.
So what do you gain from hands-on research?
You gain more experience, more knowledge when you're working with like hands-on experience, especially kids. Their brains develop more smoothly. You can't just, I feel like you have to test things, you know?
And I feel like when you're doing research and how you feel, I feel like you get to know yourself more, a little more in every research that you do. Because you see how you stand, and like you said, everybody has a different answer.
Everybody has a different answer. Everybody's going to have a different opinion on everything. ChatGPT, a lot of people say ChatGPT is biased. I think it's really based on the prompt you put in, that it could be biased, but a lot of times it gives the same answers. Last summer, I saw like a whole discussion board with like similar answers, the same answers. So that was really crazy. It was literally like every single answer was like the same format. So I don't know if it really has a bias, but I think that when you're writing in your own words, you should have your own opinion and your own argument.
And really think about.
Yeah, not just go off what other people say, because you could find a source that you don't agree with, and you can talk about that source still, but you can't just ask ChatGPT like, how does this benefit